And we are live. Welcome to another episode of the X of the weekender, rather. Okay, another week comes to an end. A rather eventful week. Right there are multiple events that have occurred this week that managed to catch my attention. Number one was obviously the new chess champion that has come up from our country, that is Gukesh. I would say yes, it was like it was a pleasant surprise, I would say, because nobody was talking about him. He suddenly arrived at the chess scene. Obviously, I'm not a very big chess fan, so people who are following chess might already be aware of who he is. But for a commoner like me, for somebody who does not follow chess, okay, to him definitely, and to all the other people who do not follow chess, that came as a surprise. But I don't see why, because people from our country have always been good at chess. Okay, now it would be interesting to see how the world accepts him, because anything that comes from our country is, it's rather like a burning sensation in the bottoms of the entire, not the entire world, of the Western world, I would say. So let's see how that plays out. This is at the top of the trending list on X. Abdullah criticizes Congress on EVMs. Omar Abdullah, the chief minister of JNK, has publicly criticized the Congress party's allegations against electronic voting machines. I don't know. I really don't understand what would really satisfy the people of Congress and all the other people who criticize EVMs, because it has been proven inside the parliament as well. It has been proven by the Supreme Court as well. So I really wouldn't understand. I really want to understand rather what would convince the Congress party of the veracity of the EVMs. Do they really want to go back to the paper ballot system, or I really don't understand whether if by some magic, if they are voted to power through the same EVMs, will they be in the favor of the EVMs again, or would they still oppose the EVMs? It would be interesting to see, but I really don't want the Congress party at the center, because, according to me, they are done. Okay. So this is interesting for all of you all out there, for people who are interested in politics. Right before the elections, the Abdullahs, they were criticizing Modi. Especially, I remember his father, Omar Abdullah's father. I'm not able to recall his name right now, but some Abdullah guy, he was pretty much a staunch enemy. Enemy is rather a strong word, I would say. Adversary of Modi, and with that extension, BJP. So suddenly, his son Omar Abdullah has started praising Modi. So you can see a pattern over here. Right before the elections, just to elicit votes out of the minority. Not exactly, the Muslims are majority in JNK. So elicit votes out of the majority community in JNK. He would play this card of being against or anti-Modi. But now that he has secured his seat, and he needs the favor of the central government for all the finances and all the money he needs from the central government, so he's rather praising Modi in the press. So this is something that you should note. Jerusalem is on alert after a report of two terrorists with long weapons traveling in a land cruiser. Okay. There are some videos as well. So there is an entire highway that is leading up to Jerusalem that has been shut down Apparently, there are two terrorists with long range weapons that are loose on that highway. The situation in Syria is, I would say, deteriorating. Let's see what comes out of it, because Trump has rather made tall promises to solve these issues in the West Asia. So let's see if he comes to the office. How does Trump manage to solve these problems? Because there are also reports of Israel conducting some raids in Syria and occupying some areas of the Golan Heights. And this is something that the state of Bharat must observe, if not learn, observe from what Israel is doing. They are preempting, the strikes. If let's hypothetically assume and conduct an imaginary exercise. Okay, if Bharat were in the place of Israel, what would they do? They would simply just you know wait for an attack to take place and then do some, or take some action. They will never be preemptive. Also, there is Operation Safed Sagar, if I'm not wrong, where the army of Bharat, they took over the Siachen glacier. That was a preemptive strike. Okay, something of that sort is required to deal with our adversarial neighbors. So yeah, Israel has also undertaken some of the airstrikes in Syria as well, and they have taken some areas of Golan Heights. Such steps are, I would say, really necessary if you want to ensure the safety, because in this world you cannot depend on, you know, like the other person will indulge in a gentlemanly warfare. That's not going to happen. The other side will definitely use subversion, subterfuge, espionage, and they will obviously, you know um, at least in the South Asian continent, the attacks from the adversaries of Bharat have always been cowardly. Okay, because we are the people of the race who welcome war. If you want to fight us, we would rather welcome you. Okay, but if you see conventionally on all the wars that Bharat has fought, okay, the attack has always been on our backs. They have never been on our chest. All right. So to remind people and to remind the populace of our country as well, okay, we belong to a race. Okay, we fought wars 5,000 years ago just for the sake of it. Okay, just because there was nothing for us to do, hence we fought wars. Okay, so I don't know how we have reached this point of pacifism where fighting war is like, it's like a big deal for us. It has never been a big deal for us. And this is what happens when you don't teach children their history in school, and teach them what people of the Aryan race did 5,000 years ago, and they'll know. They simply fought wars because they did not have anything else interesting to do. Just like there was, if you remember, if I can quote some parallel for you guys, the gladiators, the Colosseum. Okay, for them death was a sport. They rejoiced at the idea of two people fighting and only one of them walking out alive. Similar was the scene in our Bharat, our holy land of Bharat. We simply fought for entertainment. We simply fought because there was nothing else to do. Okay, so it is for us to think about you know how a race that is martial to its core, okay, becomes so pacifist. The answer lies in our education. What we are being taught in the name of history, what we are being taught in the name of our culture. So yep. Game changer mass fest. The Delhi model is trending. Hashtag the Delhi model. There is a video trending of Arvind Kejriwal. Okay, he is giving a speech. I cannot confirm the date of this speech. Okay, but he's giving a speech. This speech has been is shared 7 minutes ago by the official page of Aam Aadmi Party on X. Okay, and Arvind Kejriwal, he is making a tall claim. एंड ही सेइंग मैं चैलेंज करता हूं कि जितना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर दिल्ली में 10 सालों में बना है इतना 65 साल में नहीं बना था. Okay, apparently there is also a book, the Delhi model, the bold new roadmap to building a developed India, Jasmine Shah, an attractive template for those who want to put the human capital of our citizens at the center of the development agenda, Raghuram Rajan. I'm really now, I mean, scholarship from the West, I would really not put my faith in them, because these people have some or the other political agenda. So any scholar, even if they're nationals of Bharat, Raghuram Rajan is a national of Bharat. Right now, he might be a citizen of some other country, but the name itself suggests Raghuram. Okay, you cannot be from USA, although you might be a citizen of USA right now, but you are a national of Bharat, like it or not. Okay, but he has made some questionable things. I'm not taking away anything from him. He might be a top notch scholar and extremely well qualified for things that I might not understand right now, but he has made some political statements in the past, and once you start making political statement in a public sphere, you lose that you know sanctity of being a neutral scholar. So Raghuram Rajan, you are not a neutral scholar no longer. So yeah, there is a book. Apparently, the Delhi model, Delhi AAP has constructed so many buildings in 10 years that nobody else has constructed in the past 65 years. That is what AAP is claiming. So this was he was making this statement at the launch of a book, the Delhi model. This person was in jail. I mean, yeah. Let's move ahead. There are fans of Arvind Kejriwal all around. So yeah. Hmm, what else? Jasprit Bumrah is trending. Okay. Jasprit Bumrah. So he has taken 5 wickets again at Brisbane. So I guess he's the only bowler that is carrying the man in blue in this series, because the batsmen clearly are not performing. It is the bowlers that are performing, and more specifically, it's Bumrah who is performing. So again, a 5 wicket haul for him. Hmm. What else? Yes. Nothing else. Rajat Patidar, he has performed well in a match. Okay, he has scored 81 runs with 6 4s and 6 6s. Interesting. He is playing for RCB this time. So, just like every other time, RCB fans might be getting their hopes up. Cup Namde, Cup Namde. Let's see. I mean, let's see if they can turn their fortunes this time around, because it's been 18 seasons now. So RCB has to win a cup now. They cannot just keep on playing like this. Yep. That's it, guys. That's it. That's all for the events from past week. All right. I hope you guys enjoy this session, and do follow us on all the other social accounts that we have. One of them is on Instagram. There are some fantastic research posts that we have put up on Instagram. Do check that out. On our account on the social media platform of X, we write some fantastic articles. So there is a parallel series going on YouTube, that is Ancient History of Bharat, where I go through this book, that the series of book that was written by R.C. Majumdar. Not exactly R.C. Majumdar, but there are other authors as well. So he's the editor of this series that runs, into 11 books. So I've reached the second book. I'm going to start the second book from tomorrow onward. So what I do is I will record a video, I'll put it on YouTube, but at the same time I will also write a summary of that particular chapter that I might have read on that day, and I will also publish that article on X. Okay, so if you're following that series, do check out our posts on X, because much to my surprise, there are still people out there who like to read. Okay, so if you prefer to read, go to our account on X. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram and X. Also subscribe to us on YouTube as well. All right, that's it from this episode of Weekender. I will see you guys next week with another episode of Weekender, trying to make sense of what happened uh, in that week. All right. Thank you for joining.